What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Carlos Castro versus Oscar Escandon, and this was a 10-rounder in the featherweight division, and this fight was Saturday, August 21st, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this fight was broadcasted on Fox pay-per-view, and in this fight, Carlos Castro was able to get a 10th-round knockout victory over Oscar Escandon. I had the bout scored 88-83 in favor of Carlos Castro leading up to the stoppage. And just to break down the fight, in the first round, Carlos Castro actually got wobbled by Oscar Escandon. Escandon came in there landing short hooks. Earlier, he did wobble him with a shot to the temple, and then in the last second, I believe it was, Oscar Escandon landed a beautiful hook to the head he landed a short hook to the head of Carlos Castro, and it did wobble Castro into the back of the ropes, and he was almost sitting on them, and the referee was really close to calling that a technical knockdown, and he was really hurt going back to his corner. But then Carlos Castro started to regroup, and he started to box on the outside and counter Escandon, but it still was a very, very entertaining fight. Escandon was coming forward all night. He put on a great show for the fans, and in my opinion, he's a great fighter. I mean, Escandon, he's 37 years old. Even though he did lose here, he still put on a great performance. And, I mean, just going through all of the other rounds, the middle rounds were sort of competitive, but I did edge them to Castro. He just was landing the more technical shots, and he was actually outlanding Escandon throughout the fight. And even though, if you might have been watching the fight, it could have looked like that Escandon was actually outlanding Castro because he was throwing a lot of punches on the inside, but a lot of them were blocked by Castro. And Castro did hurt Escandon a couple of times up until the 7th round, where Castro did really hurt Escandon in the beginning. But sadly, since PBC was actually showing an interview of your Dennis Ugas, I didn't really get to see the shot that exactly hurt Escandon, but then it really showed Castro just laying combinations on the chin, body, and even the temple of Escandon. Then he was just wobbling around the ring up until Escandon threw and missed a huge hook, went down. When he was hurt, referee called it a knockdown. But then later in that 7th round, Escandon came back and started landing shots on Castro, but then after that 7th round, the referee Celestino Ruiz made the right call and did overturn that knockdown to a slip, but I still gave the round to Castro because he did really hurt Escandon. And I want to give props to Celestino Ruiz for changing that, because it did look like a slip after further review. I did take a look at it myself, and it really looked like that Escandon really slipped from missing a huge overhand right. But then the 8th and 9th rounds were rounds that I did give to Castro. I thought he landed the much better shots, mainly counters to the head, and most of the time Castro was boxing technically. I know that he wasn't really running around the ring or jabbing and not throwing too much. He was being active. He was sort of fighting at mid-range, I guess you could say, coming on the outside as well, and he was laying some good counters in those rounds, and he looked very, very good because Escandon did really lose gas in those rounds, and Castro did capitalize. But then in the 10th round, Castro wobbled Escandon again, then started landing beautiful combinations on the ropes. Then Escandon went down. Referee Celestino Ruiz warranted the count. Then Escandon got up at 8, and then he went back down to his knees. I don't know what he was trying to do there, because the referee was going to continue counting, but he just stopped the fight. I mean, I have no problem with that stoppage, because I don't know why Escandon would go back down to his knees if the referee's counting at 8 and almost at 9, but referee stopped the fight. It is a 10th round knockout victory for Carlos Castro. I was debating, thinking that Castro would get a stoppage. I thought he would get a wide unanimous decision, and that's where it was sort of pointing to, because my scorecard only had Escandon winning 2 rounds. But, I mean, the middle rounds and the early rounds were sort of competitive, but Castro did edge them, in my opinion. So what is next for Carlos Castro? I mean, I have listed a couple names that I would love to see him fight. I know that he did fight here in featherweight, and he's usually ranked at super-bantamweight, so I think he's going to continue campaigning at 122 or super-bantamweight, and I think he's either going to face like Mike Plania, maybe Tremaine Williams or Angelo Leo. I think Leo beats him, but Williams and Plania, I think he could pull out victories there. But what is next now for Oscar Escandon? I think it's either retirement or he faces yet another opponent like Jack Tapora on a PBC prelims card or an undercard, something like that, non-televised, maybe televised on like FS2 for PBC, but I can't really see him in a big fight next. I could definitely see him, as I mentioned before, either in a undercard fight against maybe C or D-level opponent, if not retiring. And I can't really name an exact opponent he might face next. So overall, Carlos Castro defeats Oscar Escandon by knockout in the 10th round to get his 27th victory and 12th by knockout. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.